North Korean leader Kim Jong-un never completed plans to travel to Moscow for an event marking the 70th anniversary of the end of World War II in Europe. Despite the cancellation, there was still important symbolic meaning behind the young leader's choice of Russia for his first overseas trip as head of state. F.FTV's Anne Hu takes a closer look at the cordial relations between the two states. Here's part one of our week-long in-depth report.
The Tumen River stretches more than 500 kilometers, though only the last 15 kilometers before the mouth serves as a border between Russia and North Korea. Along this section are two coasts, two countries, and two very different places.
就在我的右边是俄罗斯包德哥尔纳亚，那再往右边看是北朝的豆满江里。
从北朝鲜来到了朝俄边境，这里是更接近出海口的造山里，隔着图们江，您可以看到这是俄罗斯的哈桑。
Heading upstream from near the river mouth at the bank of the Tumen River at Chosal Village, we reached Tumengang neighborhood. There are close to 1,000 homes, each with gray roof tiles and blue window shutters.
제가 기타 차야기를 하지 말입니다. 우산은 우산이라고, 겨울은 겨울이라고.
我当时来这的时候，周围没有，除了姑父就没人，他就一个人在家。我问了，姑父你在这做什么呀？他说管理是什么打扫啦，还有客人来的时候接客人参观是那么说的。所以我小时候嘛，所以好奇上来看看那个摄像台，还有那个望远镜都看了那个时候。
Farmers grow potatoes and corn along the border each year, but sowing of seeds will have to wait for rainy season. Life is intense or busy like many other border towns, but the tranquility is broken each Tuesday and Friday when the Korea-Russia cross-border train arrives and undergoes customs inspections.
从豆满江洞可以看到跨越国境的朝俄大桥，这条桥也就是当年金日成、金正日父子搭乘火车必经的大桥。
North Korea founder Kim Il-sung's fear of flying led him to choose rail transit when visiting the Soviet Union. These journeys from Pyongyang to Moscow contributed to the close historical connection between the countries and paved the way for desperately needed assistance. When North Korea was still a colony of Japan during World War II, Kim Il-sung relied on the Soviet Union for support in this fight of resistance. The Soviet Union provided assistance again in 1945 when the Workers' Party of North Korea was founded. And on September 9, 1948, when Kim Il-sung founded the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. In the 1950s and 60s, support from the Soviet Union led North Korea to have a rate of industrial development that was second only to Japan and Asia. When the Soviet Union dissolved, this generosity abruptly ended. Desperate for support in the face of international sanctions, as North Korea began to drift away from the Soviet Union, it turned to China. While Russia is still North Korea's third largest exporter, proportionally it is far behind China, which places first in terms of both exports and imports. The discrepancy is apparent by looking at flight schedules. There is one daily direct round-trip flight between Pyongyang and Beijing, and no regular direct flights between Pyongyang and Moscow. In terms of the most widely spoken foreign languages in North Korea, Russian trails English and Mandarin.
Of course, English is the official language of the world. But in our country, Chinese, China, and Russia is so nearby from our country. So we must study English first. After that, we need to study Chinese and Russian as a second foreign language.
North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un had chosen Russia as his first foreign state to visit since taking power. While the trip was later cancelled, it still carried important symbolic meaning. Recently, Russia has proposed building a railway that cut across North Korea from north to south and links to the Trans-Siberian Railway. This would provide easy transport of coal, iron, petroleum, and natural gas. Early interest from North Korea points toward more opportunity for cooperation in the future. This is F.TV's Anne Hu, CF Su Chun-hao Yeh with an exclusive report from China, North Korea, and Russia.